That was the last straw, when the Russian occupiers had already opened fire and started firing at local residents. People stopped going outside at all, but the locals, of course, protested to the last moment.
Valeriya miraculously managed to leave Kakhovka, occupied by Russian troops. The way to the Zaporizhia region, which previously could be overcome in a few hours, took more than 10 to travel. A woman drove through 14 checkpoints of the Russian military and Kadyrovets in a volunteer car, being 9 months pregnant. Now, being in the Kiev region, a much safer place than Valeriya's hometown, she remembers the first day of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine.
On February 24th at 5 o'clock in the morning, they started bombing us. I realized that it happened. This is a war. I woke up from the explosions and wrote to my husband that the war started. My youngest child woke up, got very scared. I told him not to worry and tried to calm him down.
The woman says that it was impossible to stay in the occupied Kherson region. The persecution of the civilian population, inflated prices, lack of medicines and food forced her to leave her home.
In Novokakhovka, a family tried to leave, an elderly man with his wife and with his adult daughter and grandchildren. The girl there was about 7 years old and a boy 1.5 years old, a baby, and it turned out that when they tried to leave, they were simply shot. At the checkpoint, I think they did not even reach the checkpoint. They were shot on the spot. Even a 1.5-month-old child was also shot.
Since 2015, Valeriya's husband has been serving in the Joint Forces Operation Area as a volunteer. The eldest son, Konstantin, signed a contract with the Armed Forces of Ukraine in October last year. As part of the Kakhovka Brigade, he was at the forefront when a full-scale invasion began. On the same day, 19-year-old Kostya was taken prisoner.
It happened so that on the 24th of February my son was taken prisoner, and that's it. Hell has begun. On the 26th of February there was a call from someone else's number. I picked up the phone, it was my son. He said, "Mom, don't worry, I'm held in captivity of the so-called Luhansk People's Republic. Everything is fine with me." Before that they already sent me a video where my child is held captive. Then I asked him if he was okay. I also asked him why he had a bruise from the bridge of his nose to his ear and why he was limping on his right leg. And that's all. After that, the connection was interrupted. They forbade answering questions they did not like. I spoke with my son for 52 seconds. That's all.
An excerpt from one of Konstantin's conversations with his mother was filmed by the Russian military and posted online.
"Hello, Mom, it's me. Most importantly, don't worry. I'm in the so-called Luhansk People's Republic now. Everything is fine with me. Don't worry, I'll be home soon."
The last time Valeriya spoke to her son was on March the 24th. After that, the calls stopped. The fact that Konstantin is alive she can only find out from the video with Ukrainian prisoners, which are posted on the network. Looking at the video, Konstantin was not provided proper medical care. He is still limping after his leg was wounded on February the 24th, and his appearance, according to the mother, is strikingly different from how the young man looked in peacetime.
Completely different conditions. Some are kept in more or less acceptable conditions. Some are subjected to unlawful methods, in particular torture. That is, this is a very wide variability, and it all depends on the specific place where they are being held, on the specific personnel working there, and on the specific interest of the authorities of the Russian Federation, the Kremlin, in this war, or that prisoner of war.
The number of Ukrainian prisoners of war is not exactly known. Details about the negotiation process are classified. However, according to the Defense Ministry, the Ukrainian side knows everything about the fate of the prisoners of war. Most of them are being held in the occupied areas of the Donetsk region. According to Russian media reports, the defenders of Mariupol are being held in the same place, and the commanders of the Azov regiment are being held separately in the Lefortovo pre-trial detention center in Moscow. The Russian occupation authorities also created 2 filtration prisons, one on the basis of the former Yanakivsky strict regime colony, the other in the Volnovakha correctional colony. There are also civilian prisoners. In total, according to the Ukrainian side, Russian troops captured 1,500 Ukrainian civilians. Today, Valeriya can only hope that her son will be released from captivity and wait for news from him, as the woman admits she can't accept the fact that Russian troops entered her hometown and took away her house.
If you come to us with weapons, I hate this nation. I'll tell you honestly, my 12-year-old son turned gray during this time. His hair is just gray. You wake up because your child is screaming, "Mom, run to the basement." But you live in a high-rise building and you understand that this basement can become a mass grave.
Reported by Pavlo Shtelmach, Larysa Zubenko, UATV News.